Hi there, this is Rob McLean from LearnToCruiseOnline.ca. This is episode 12 in the Connected Boat series. This episode deals with open boat initiatives and DIY projects. In recent years, I've become intrigued by a number of initiatives launched by various technically minded boaters. They want to combat the high cost of charts and marine electronics, open up marine boating standards in the spirit of the open source software movement. So listed here are a number of initiatives that we'll talk about in the next few minutes. Signal K is a relatively new initiative that is designed to come up with a common, modern, and open data format for marine use. This will make it far easier to develop customized instrumentation on mobile devices accessible over a boat network. The data is sent on JSON strings. It's very easy to interpret and work with. A Kickstarter project resulted in the funding of the first Signal K NMEA gateway called iCommunicate, produced by Digital Yacht. There's a lot of interest in Signal K, and it's something that you're going to hear much more about in the years ahead. I've already mentioned OpenCPN in an earlier discussion. It's free software that can run on Windows, Linux, and OS X, and it is an increasingly impressive chart plotter navigation software with a host of plugins that enable integration of almost all of the boat instruments that you could possibly want to integrate onto your navigation system. The plugins include a wide variety of instruments. They include lots of functionality that you would want on your boat, AIS radar, celestial navigation functionality, weatherfax overlay, and so on, and many, many other advanced features. OpenPlotter complements OpenCPN by making it available on inexpensive microprocessors like the Raspberry Pi. Given the high cost of marine charts in some jurisdictions, and building on the legacy of the OpenStreetMap project, OpenCMap aims to create a free, open-source nautical chart for the world. Freeboard is a New Zealand-based project that leverages Arduinos and Raspberry Pis and offers a new and inexpensive way to connect everything up on your boat. I've already mentioned my interest in Arduinos. What you see here is the prototype of a boat monitoring device that I'm currently working on. It supports a wide variety of sensors. It relays sensor data to a NMEA 2000 network. It's capable of controlling the hydraulic autopilot solenoids on one of my boats, and it can trigger local alarms as well as send email alerts over Wi-Fi and cell networks. The only reason I can tackle a project like this is because of all of the open information that's available to help people like me figure out how to leverage these technologies. KBox is a project driven by a gentleman named Thomas Sarlandi, and it's a small 3" by 5" Arduino-based device which has very interesting expansion capabilities. It relays NMEA 0183 and N2K data over Wi-Fi. It has a number of embedded sensors for voltage, compass heading, roll, pitch, temperature, atmospheric pressure, and so on. Very interesting is that development work is well underway that will enable new functionality, including a Signal K data server. And I've been sufficiently inspired by this device that I'm personally helping to contribute code that will enable it to act as the control unit for an autopilot, as a multifunction display with alarms, and as a remote boat monitor. Another really interesting innovation is radio experimenters who have leveraged Rtl-Sdr technology which was originally developed to provide TV signals into computers in Europe, which can be now leveraged as software-defined radio in a whole variety of applications, including receiving AIS signals, which can be processed on a Raspberry Pi to put AIS on the network as a very inexpensive alternative to traditional commercial AIS gear. There are a variety of crowdsourced data initiatives. Most of you are probably familiar with Active Captain, but there are a variety of other initiatives as well. Venture Farther is one that I've come across, and there are a series of blogs that I've listed here. They provide access to creative and interesting information about what's going on at the leading edge of marine electronics, particularly in the open and DIY areas. So to conclude, I've already mentioned that OpenCPN is an impressive free chart plotter that you can run on Mac, Windows, and Linux, and now on your Raspberry Pi. If you're technically minded, I hope that this discussion has demonstrated there are some really exciting, interesting projects out there that have the potential to provide very high functionality at a fraction of the cost of commercial gear. And the other big advantage to getting involved is you'll understand how these systems work. I'm exploring some of these projects myself and will continue to share what I learned from that participation. This concludes our discussion of open boat initiatives and DIY projects. See you in the next episode.